welcome to episode 2, season 2 of the podcast. This week we're talking about two things. One, we're talking about the apps, but really just the one app, the Drag Queen Alarm Clock, being launched in the store, and what we have after a month of the app being in the store, what that data looks like, and what it's like to launch an app in the App Store, and some of the struggles I'm feeling with that app. And then two, the Atomic Habits book club. We just had our first meeting this week. It's a great book. So I will share with you some of the learnings I got out of that book about the first couple chapters we went through, and the experience of that book club. So anyway, going to topic number 1, which is the Slay Today alarm clock, and I'm going to move over this way so they can be up on the screen there. So yes, the app is in the App Store. Go and look it up. Slay Today Drag Queen Alarm Clock. It's in the store. It's been there since September 1st. I've really had a kind of struggle with it because there was an error I was having with the app, a technical error that took a couple weeks to resolve, and so I didn't really promote it, and didn't post it on my Facebook or the Instagram or anything like that. So the only people who knew about it were people I told in person directly, and that was just a few people. So, and gosh, you know what? Part of me knows that once I tell all my friends about it, I think a good segment of them will try it out once, and then they're done, and they'll never try it again. And so I want to make sure it's just right before I tell people about it, or else I feel like I blow that chance. And that's a mental issue that I need to get over and just put it out there. But I haven't done that yet. So that's an area that I'm currently struggling with. And hopefully I can attack that this coming month. So the numbers you see here are just from a month's worth of use. Oh, it's back. And not promoting the app at all. So the numbers aren't going to be great. And we see the top line numbers in the App Store. I've got 977 impressions, which I think means that people searched for something in the App Store, and 977 times the Slay Today Alarm Clock app came up in the results and was displayed to people in that list of apps that they could possibly download, 977 times. Don't know if that's a good number or bad number. Seems like a big number to me. So I will learn more about that. But we've got 15 units, 15 times people downloaded and installed the app. And I know that I can only account for one of them. So 14 other people did it too. And I can put my finger on like 5 friends I know that did it, but there's probably 10 I can't account for. And so those are like 10 real people. So I appreciate you people. That's really cool. So this is a starting point to go from. The proceeds are $9. I know at least $3.99 of that is me. Again, I'm testing to make sure that actual sales happen and all the mechanics actually work. So, but I think $5 of that is stuff I can't account for either. So that's kind of cool. And then 50 sessions, which I don't know what to think about that. It's a daily alarm clock. I haven't done the math on like if those 15 people are using it, how many sessions per person type stuff. Yeah, I don't know what to think about that number yet, but crashes 0%, super happy with that. I make quality apps, that makes me happy. No crashes, cool. So let's dive down a bit deeper into the user numbers. And this is the users. This is from my Firebase. I use Firebase. Google Firebase is a great tool. It gives me some better ability to customize the analytics I want to see in the app. And what this chart shows me is all I see from this is like users did not grow over the course of a month. They didn't crash particularly. They weren't high. That's what they are. And for doing zero promotion of an app, that's fine, I guess. I don't know. It's a starting point. This would be something to compare to next month. So there's that. One of the mechanics I had in the app was the idea that people could share if you get a cool video of a drag queen that you think is funny, and you might want to share that with your friends. And so I put that share functionality in the app thinking that that would help promote the app to other folks. And so what I wanted to see is how many shares happened over the course of a month. And the number is 7. 7 times a video message was shared in the app. And 4 of those times happened on one day, and I think that's probably me. So I don't think the share mechanism is working the way I intended it to. as something that I'll definitely look into more. I need more information on that, but that's something I'm going to look into more. All those shares may have been me. So yeah. The other thing I've been looking at is retention, and this is the retention chart, and it's basically what it says is, can I? Oh, I can't, because I can't point on the thing. If you look at the chart, in the first column, it shows how many, so if I look at the very bottom, on September 19th, it'll tell me how many people, 100% of the people who downloaded it on September 19th to 25th used it September 19th to 25th. Cool. Then on week 2, the week after that, I can't possibly see how many people used the week after that because we haven't completed that week yet. So that is not valid question to ask. So if we go back up one to September 12th to September 18th, I can see that that would be 100% of people who downloaded it on week 0 used it, cool. And then a week later, it looks like about 20% of the people were retained. The 20% of people who used it on week 1 also used it on week 2, or week 0 used it on week 1. So 80% dropped off. That's not great. These are super low numbers, so I can't draw that many conclusions from it. But when I see how many people drop off on week 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 out, those numbers don't look great to start off with. So it's something that I will look into. These are super small numbers, so I shouldn't draw conclusions from them yet, as I keep telling myself. But yeah. So what do I take away from this? 1, the app's in the store, it works, it doesn't crash. That's great. People can use it, and people have used it 50 times in last month, and that's not bad as a starting point. But there's a lot of work I need to do, and there's additional data that I want to collect. I just would like to know more about, like, it'd be cool to know what videos people find most interesting, what types of drag queen videos get the most excitement, that people are more likely to share. I don't have that, so I can't create that content. So that's something I'll be looking to do in the next month. And then also just getting over my own fear of sharing this with other folks. And I think I have a huge fear that I'll share this with everybody and nobody will use it. And then I've blown my chance because I didn't design it correctly. And so that's a struggle I'm doing emotionally and we'll work on. Anyway, so that's the app update. The second thing is the, excuse me, I had a great dinner, is the book club for Atomic Habits. And that had some really big client work come up this month. I had to push it back 2 weeks, but finally we got this started this past Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, so it happened last night. And it was great to have a conversation with people about the first 2 chapters of the book. And I'll tell you, one of my biggest takeaways from the book so far is there's a great conversation in the There's some great writing in the book about goals, and we're always taught that goals are super important. You need to set goals. The James Clear goes into this discussion about like how you can't make goals everything. That goals can actually inhibit your happiness, because if you're focused on the goal, like winners and losers and people who succeed, people who don't succeed, all have the same goal. So goals aren't what makes the difference. It's the systems you put in place to support your goals that really make the difference. And if you're focused on the goals, the concept that it limits your happiness in the fact that then you think, well, once I accomplish this goal, then I'll be happy. Therefore, I can't be happy now. And what you need to learn how to do is be happy in the moment, especially if you've put in those practices and habits that are going to have long-term success for you, that you learn to be happy now and not when that goal is achieved. And then also this concept that people have this yo-yo effect, that once they achieve that goal, then they let off the gas a bit and relax because that goal has been achieved, so they don't need to work as hard. And so your consistency goes up and down, considering whether you've met or not met that goal, and whether you consider yourself a failure or not if you didn't reach the goal. So that was some interesting conversations about goals that we had, and what I plan to do with this podcast is bring in some people to have some really deep dives into what are the key lessons coming out of this book for us and how that applies to our own lives. for my own life, through the conversation I had with folks, one new habit I wanted to create is somebody in the group was really good at keeping their place very clean. And I'm not as good at that. And so to develop that habit, the conversation was, well, maybe I can, there's a helicopter trying to destroy this podcast. One of the things I can do is make part of my bedtime routine spending 10 minutes cleaning up something in my apartment as a new habit to establish. And so I put that into place. While one of my biggest concerns and my goals overall is more financial accountability, that I am really bad at paying bills on time and keeping account of my money and finances, but I didn't have the nerve to set up a new habit regarding that yet. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, Atomic Habits, great book. We'll be doing some interviews with folks regarding deep content in the book coming up here, but I did want to get this update in about where the app is. If you do want to use the Drag Queen Alarm Clock app, I'll put the link in this podcast, on the video and in the audio version of the podcast. And yeah, check it out and check out the other links on Instagram for other ways you can support the channel. But anyway, happy to have you. Looking forward to the next update next week, and I'll see you later. Get that off the screen and then press stop. There we go. Oh,